All right, last thing for the top 5, really quick, man. I did. I put out my top 5. No, I didn't. That ain't it.
None of them hoes rookies. I mean, I'm sorry.
ain't none of them rookies, is it? Let me get the rookies real quick.
Hey, we got a Patreon coming. We got a Patreon.
Oh, man.
Y'all not finna.
My bad. Hey, no Pat McAfee. My bad.
No Pat.
It's a white.
Oh man, y'all too much, man. All right, here we go. Here go the rookies, man.
This man's trying to sneak in a wing.
This was my top 5 rookie of the year, and I'm gonna tell you why.
I'm not surprised.
I took Cameron Brink out because she's not obviously not going to win the award because she's gone for the rest of the year. Caitlin Clark and them, they just won again, man. It was a blowout almost. Now the formula for them to win seems to be her actually playing point guard, while Leah Boston leads them in scoring, and their second scorer is Mitchell. You know, so Caitlin Hart 16 tonight. I think that's a good formula. Her getting about 16 and letting those girls go for 28 more, right? And she get assists and do her thing, right? It's been working. They're on the 4-game win streak, maybe 5-game, I don't know. So they're gonna go in the playoffs. I think the WNBA is smart by helping them get to the playoffs, because if she's not in the playoffs, you're gonna lose about 10,000 fans of watching, right? Yeah. So Clayton's number 1. She's the only one that's the number 1 for her team. So it's only right that she's on the top. You know, she's playing well enough with the most on her shoulder to be ranked number 1. Angel Reese is the obvious number 2. I think this is only a 2-woman race, right? Everybody else is just here to make the list look robust. Even though Rakia Jackson is playing really good, and I expect her to actually improve a lot with Brink being out and her carrying more of a load. And then Aaliyah Edwards, her team, she got the worst team in the league, but she plays really good. And Kate Martin, even though she's the only bench player on this list, she's impressed me probably the most, to be honest with you. That's my top 5. Do y'all got something different or a different order?
I got Angel Reese number 1.
And who's number 2?
It's a toss-up, but I think because of the team is improving, and she's playing a little bit better, I did put Caitlin Clark there for now. And then right behind her, I have Rakia Jackson. Yeah. And then Anthony, I'm sorry, I was gonna say Anthony Edwards. Good Lord. Aaliyah Edwards. Aaliyah Edwards. I don't have Kate Martin. I have Camilla as number 5.
Those are?
Yeah, by the time they get to the end of the season, I can see that. But so far, with the data we got so far, Camilla is not impressed me at all.
She missed a lot of games due to injury too.
A lot of games though, and that's the point. Right. Like, she's a bona fide starter, and that's why I will put her above Kate Martin. She's a bona fide starter, so she's gonna get the majority of the minutes going from here forward. So, I mean, right now, I'm not mad at what you had up there, Mel. I would still put Angel Reese, who just broke the record for rookies, double-double.
Right, double-double.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I would probably put her first. Yes, Caitlin's team is on a run, and they finally are starting to realize what winning basketball is for that team. But I would probably still put Angel 1, Caitlin 2, Rakia Jackson. She's a skilled forward, and
she's good. She can shoot. She can rebound. That girl good.
She's a skilled
I
forward.
actually had Rakia number 1 in the beginning of the season. So when the season first started, I had her number 1 because she was the most efficient of all the rookies, and everyone was playing so poorly in comparison to her. She was just coming off the bench, 16 minutes, 16 points. Like, she was really like lighting up the floor just from off the bench. So for me, Caitlin Clark is Rookie of the Year as of now. But Angel Reese, to me, could really lift her team more throughout the season. I just think, like, Fever is winning more games than Chicago Sky. But
and that's what it is. It's the games they win. Like, right now, the Fever are winning, and the Sky keep dropping games. I mean, they even lost to the Mystics, man. Like, what are they doing?
They did just win a game. So, like, you know, for me, like, yes, they're losing a lot of games. That's the only reason why Angel Reese is not Rookie of the Year to me. But otherwise, she would be. And if they improve, if they wind up having a better record than the Fever, then I would go with Angel Reese, because to me, Caitlin Clark really is not number 1 on her team. She's the third option. That's what she's dropped down to, and that's what she's needed to drop down to in order to win games. Because
when she was number 1, they was losing, right?
I mean, and it was miserable. So, when you have them same record, Angel Reese is above. She's lifting her team more when they had similar records. But now we're seeing Caitlin drop down to the third option, which is helping their team in winning games. So I'm going to put her rookie of the year because I'm proud of her, actually. I'm proud that she's doing what it takes to put her team in a position to win because Boston is the leader. Mitchell is a better scorer. I think even tonight, Smith was the leading scorer on that team. She just needs to take a step back from scoring because the women's game is more of a team game. It's not one person coming and drop 30. You're going to run the show and turn the ball over as many times and they can win like that. They can't do that. So for me, Angel Reese could emerge as rookie of the year just based on like what she's doing, her production, how she's really lighting up the floor as a star as well. But it's Caitlin for now for me.
Yeah. And it's crazy that in order for them to win, she had to settle down into maybe I'm not this prolific scorer that I was in college. Maybe this is my new thing, being a legit point guard and not trying to be freaking Kobe or whatever they thought she was going to be, or Steph Curry, whatever they thought she was going to be. I don't think that's going to be her. She's still going to be able to hit some threes. She's still going to be able to hit some logo threes, but that Iowa college stuff is done, man. She's a straight up point guard who needs to run the team, and she's got a rookie of the year on her squad, a former number 1 pick, another person that scores better than her in Mitchell, and another big man in Smith, who, is it Smith? Her name Smith, that who scores better than her as well in a physical league.
And we haven't even talked about Boston yet.
Right. So this league is going to have to change the entire way, the whole landscape of the game, or how they play the game and how physical it is, in order for her to shine the way her fans thought she was going to shine.
But I don't think they were a bad team, though. People were saying that they were so bad. They have good players on their team. They just weren't playing the right way. And now that they are, look at them on a 4-game win streak. They even beat a good team in this streak. So, they're on their way. I would love to see them win more than 20 games this season.
Okay. All right. So look, we're going to get to this Matt Stafford, and it's going to be our last topic. We don't have time for to discuss the Boston Celtics. So we'll get to this Matt Stafford. And
hey, before you do that, let me say this.
Yes, sir.
If y'all notice, I didn't say anything on that. That's my silent protest of the WNBA until y'all put that poll up.
Hey, if you don't know what we're talking about, please subscribe to the Patreon.
Subscribe to the Patreon, man.
Please subscribe to the Patreon. You'll understand exactly.
I'm sorry, guys. Let's keep, you was doing good keeping the show rolling. My bad, man.
Hey, this topic might roll over into the Patreon. I doubt everybody gonna be able to say exactly what they think on this topic. But I had to do this for your boy Motown Chris, man, since he's from Detroit and Matt Stafford represent Detroit. And I had to do this for Zoe because he's from Georgia and Matt Stafford played at Georgia, so he represents. Evidently, his wife has a podcast.
We're gonna
go there. And I guess she wants to get her podcast off the ground and in the airways for everybody to hear.
She should.
So she's saying some stuff that she probably should have kept in her house.
100%.
Here's her talking.
Our college relationship was, the typical college, I would say, relationship where there wasn't really one.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want one. That asshole. So
could you blame him?
I went back and forth there for a little bit with the love-hate. Some of my podcast is our story because it's a really funny fucking story because we were all over the place. I dated the backup to piss him off. Like that was the type of situation we were in.
You dirty dog!
Listen, he deserved it. Okay, he deserved it.
That backup is crazy. What is he doing?
You know what? He was like the bad boy. He Matthew's like this genuine soul, and then it was the bad boy. So
but he's the backup. Like, if I'm Matthew, I'm sending the offensive line after him. Like, get this guy off the team. Get him out of here.
I don't think he saw the field after that.
Yeah.
But in the end, I always tell him we ended up together, and we had to go through all of it. So the backup had to happen.
Yeah.
So she on there telling everybody she gave the backup quarterback that was on the team with her husband, gave him the cheeks to make him jealous. And she think that's something that we needed to hear, man. What's your thoughts on that?
And who was the starting quarterback last year for Georgia?
Last year?
That's a great question.
It was Carson Beck last year, but the year before that, it was Stetson Bennett.
Stetson Bennett. Yo, he might have been the backup. That motherfucker was at Georgia for 91 years.
Nah, the backup.
I know who it was.
What's his name?
His name is Logan Gray. He was the backup. The fact that she would even mention that is just ridiculous.
This is a little. It's distasteful, but if you know Kelly Stafford, it's not off-brand. She has said a lot of crazy, questionable shit over the last few years. This is not the, and I mean, this, like other stuff she has said wasn't like as intimate as this, right? But
hold on, Chris. I don't mean to jump in, but I just looked it up. So that wasn't the backup that he was talking about. The backup that the dude name was Joe Cox. Go ahead.
He was the backup, but he got a wife. Listen,
the backup was Joe Cox, dude. That just makes it worse.
Don't bring Joe Cox into this. It just fits perfectly because of his name. Don't tell me.
Go ahead, Chris.
But there was absolutely no reason to say this, and whether she cleared it with Matt beforehand or just decided to just bring it out there for clicks and views, but for what reason? Why would this conversation even come up that you would even have to mention that you dated and slept with your husband's backup quarterback in college? He is 14 years removed from college. What is the point? What was the point? You could talk about something that happened in Detroit when y'all was there just 3 years ago.
See, that's why I don't want to be famous, man. You got to do weird stuff. You know,
I don't think it has nothing to do with fame. I think it's never mind. I'll tell y'all later.
And the season about to start, man.
That's a Patreon comment.
Literally, what was the point?
I don't get it. I don't get why people put out there. Go ahead.
Euro J is not pleased with that.
Hey man, that's what happened when you marry a cloud chaser, homie. She looking for attention
for her podcast.
The thing about it is,
I wish my wife would get on a major media platform and say something out of pocket like that.
What's crazy is Kelly really hasn't kind of stepped into this role until they moved to LA. When he was in Detroit, you rarely heard from Kelly.
It's LA though, Chris. It's LA. That light and that I don't even know what you call it, because I've been out there. Like, people start acting different out there.
I don't even think nobody knew her name was Kelly except for Chris.
Everybody's a celebrity. Average gets turned into superstars. Hey,
tell them again. But
for what do you need? I don't understand. Like, your husband won a Super Bowl a couple years ago. Like,
hey man, attention, bro. Attention.
All right, let's hear from the ladies. Maybe it's not that bad. Maybe we're just looking into it too much.
Dominique, I'm going to
speak on Joe Cox
right now. Don't speak on Joe Cox. That's wild, man.
That's his name.
Go ahead, Dominique.
I think that it's only appropriate that we talk about her in the same breath that we would talk about Jada Pinkett Smith. And I just think that she had no business talking about this. I think it's ridiculous. I just don't see the purpose of it. You're married. I think it's very disrespectful to the marriage. But if Matt Stafford loves it, then so do I. If he's fine with his wife bringing up these things, and that's the, who knows? Maybe she went over this with him before, she went public with it. Maybe, he wants her to be able to be her authentic self and talk about these things and how she snagged her, NFL player husband. Obviously, I don't think that this makes, him look good, especially headed into the football season. These are distractions. Who knows what his teammates are going to be saying and what the locker room is going to be like now because of something like this. So, I kind of feel for him if he had no idea this was coming. And I just think it was inappropriate. That's my personal take on it. But I don't really, if he accepts that in their marriage, then I'm fine with it.
I know one thing. If he got one of them type of teammates, that
like me. We got a teammate like me.
Yeah, that's on that BS. Like, shoot. As soon as I see him mess up on a road trip, I'm gonna see if she want to make him jealous again.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brittany.
Go ahead, Brittany.
I mean, I really don't have much to say about it. That's not something I would absolutely do. I agree.
Hold on, which one you wouldn't do? You wouldn't say it out loud, or you wouldn't actually make somebody jealous?
Both. Hey, time out. Brittany
is my dog, man.
Brittany said y'all about to pull her into the bullshit.
Right, don't pull me into that nonsense.
That's my dog.
Time out.
Jay, what nonsense you about to say? Go ahead.
You can't make this shit up. His backups right now is Jimmy G and Stetson Bennett, yo.
Yeah,
actually, I don't think Stetson is with the team anymore.
He is. He can't. He ended up coming back.
Do you guys remember what Aisha Curry did? To me, this is the same thing. Like Steph was playing. I don't remember if it was the playoffs happening, but she just came out saying that like she wanted to be desired as her husband is by women, and she wanted to be desirable by men. She felt, lesser. She felt like a lesser woman because she wasn't, men weren't drooling all over the place for her. I mean, as if she was being celebrated for being some, worldly athlete. I thought that was very interesting, but it just seems like sometimes wives are being tired of being in the shadows. So they have these kinds of conversations and discussions. I personally
first of all,
care about this insecurity though.
That's
first
not
of all,
gotta
be.
First of all, Aisha looks like Theodore, the chipmunk.
Right. Don't do her like
so. The desire ain't coming.
I will say this. Before Aisha started saying dumb shit, she looked good.
Wait.
No, she
started saying dumb shit.
She's a beautiful woman. Her and Steph Curry are very well matched. What works for their marriage works for their marriage. But I do see a trend of wives being in the background and them feeling like, hey, I need to do something.
Yeah, sure.
But be comfortable in your role in the background. Be comfortable in your role in the background.
Savannah James would never.
Why does she need to be comfortable being in the background? She can do something for herself. But I don't.
See, this remind me of when TD Jake's wife tried to preach. Sit your tail down.
All that I'm saying is that these wives, if they feel like they need to do something, I don't know that it needs to be talking about the marriage in a way that makes the marriage look bad. To the public, regardless of what you and your husband have an agreement about. Why make these kinds of public displays that are just, bringing negativity and division to the sports world, the discussion surrounding sports? Like, we don't need to be talking about Matt Stafford's wife with the backup quarterback, from college before the NFL season is happening. Like, that's my problem. I don't actually care about the topic at all. So I don't have a problem with this. If wives want to do more than be a wife and stay at home, fine, great. But I don't think that they need to come out and, off of the backs of their husband's fame, using it, to make them look bad. You wouldn't be in the position for
they
anyone.
Need to have several seats. Hey, Chris, do me a favor.
What's up?
See if we can get Joe Cox on the podcast, man. I got questions.
That's all.
I mean, nobody would care what she was saying, right?
That's more so.
So let's see if we can find Joe Cox. I mean, I'm pretty sure he'll do an interview. He ain't make it to the league. So
he didn't make it to the league.
Now that this came out, we want to be the first interview.
He got a
She want everybody to know that we go ask more questions and give it to everybody.
He got a used car dealership in Savannah. I mean,
shout out to Shui J. I love that comment she made, because I mean, who is this woman before she married Matt Stafford? And I mean, she was somebody.
Evidently, bust down. That's what she was.
She was a cheerleading sorority host.
Much with this. Hey man, why are we on this topic so long, homie?
I don't know. I'm still waiting on Brittany's point. We interrupted her. Go ahead, Brittany, finish, and then we'll close.
I don't know. I feel like this topic. I'm sorry. Let me not say it that way. I feel like what she said was pointless. I feel like what she said was completely pointless and uncalled for, unnecessary. It's just a waste of time. It's just an attention grabber, and I think low key it's an insecurity. I do think it's an insecurity. You knew what you was getting into, in my opinion, prior. And even if you didn't understand the full extent of it, you had some idea of it. You knew he was a big time football player. This is years later. Nobody cares about this at this point. Like, I guess they're in LA, so it's Hollywood. Maybe she's trying to get on a one of those TV shows, like like a Real Housewives or something like that. I don't know exactly why she said what she said. I don't know.
She belonged to the streets.
Man, he was cheating on her, and he hurt her little feelings, and then she got with the backup quarterback, and then she just found out that he was cheating again, so she told the world. It's really much to do about nothing.
It ain't just about the podcast, though.
Care about your private life.
Yeah, nobody even cares. I just care that your husband can play football. That's all I care about. I don't care what you do.
Exactly.
As long as it does not disturb over here at 34599. That's all I care about.
This man wants somebody to come.
Why your address got so many numbers in it? Shit. Y'all got a big ass street. How many y'all live on a motherfucking interstate?
Nah,
why your address got all them numbers?
Because
34599. God damn.
Mail right down the street.
Mail right around the corner. His address long as hell too.
I believe it. I believe it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Slay Lane.
Now we out here pin dropping.
Hey, as bad as we was doing on time, we still go be at the end of that 2:30, man. I think we did.
Nah, we ended at 2:25. Ain't no need to stay.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey y'all, it would be real. F y'all. Nah, I'm just playing.
Nah,
hey, make sure y'all go ahead and swing over to the Patreon though, because we're going straight from here to there for the
want somebody to be a swinger, man. Don't listen to him. Y'all go ahead.
Swing.
Hey, send me the link.
All right, man. We'll catch y'all, man. Thank y'all for hanging out with us, man. Everybody's on the Patreon. We'll see y'all in about 5 minutes. Peace.
Peace.
Post game.